there, ref. That's he got the ball.
Yes, everyone, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. It's Jack and Dave here to give our reactions to all the lovely channel creators' season predictions. We've asked them what their season predictions are ahead of this Ange Postecoglou's second season, and we'll see how these unfold. I have a delusional suspicion that we could go far into the Europa League, so I wonder if people will have similar ones or if we'll get a bit more of a balanced approach from some of our fellow creators. But Dave, before we get into this, any expectations from yourself from our fellow creators?
Well, look, balance is out of the window, I would say, Jack. It doesn't matter whether it's on the positive extreme or the negative extreme. I think it's, to the extreme on both sides, to be about brutally honest. Let's see if there is one person in there. Maybe Lee Dorset, maybe a bit more balanced. Let's wait and see. Let's hear what they have to say. Some might surprise me.
And if you can for us, everybody, do smash that like button and as well get into the comments below what your favorite of the predictions were. But let's get straight into it. We're going to go to Sonny from Sonny Talk Spurs, see what he has to say.
What's going on, Dave and Jack? It's Sonny from Sonny Talk Spurs, and you want me to give you some of my predictions ahead of the new season. Starting with the Premier League, and I think Tottenham are going to get fourth this season. I think, after the struggles we had last year, bigger squad with the fact that we're in Europe as well, will help us in the long term. I like the signing so far of Archie Gray and Dominic Solanke. I think they take us to another level. A versatile midfielder, can play fullback, and a striker with some potence who we've been calling out for years. So I think that's going to get us fourth. I think we're going to win the Europa League. Tottenham's name is on that trophy twice. I think it's going to be thrice. I think we'll have enough depth, so you might as well start booking your tickets to Bilbao, lads. And then for the Carabao and FA Cup, it's quite hard to judge at these early stages. I guess it's going to be Carabao Cup, I'd imagine maybe quarters. I'm going to go with the quarters. FA Cup, I can see us getting knocked out early, maybe fourth round. But player of the season and top goal scorer are going to be the same person. It's going to be Dominic Solanke. He's going to come in, and that price tag is not going to be, water off a duck's back, you could say, for big Dom Solanke. He's going to get a lot of goals, and I really back him to have a good season for the mighty Tottenham Hotspur. Come on, you Spurs.
I like that prediction there from Sonny Dave, and he's actually gone for a crazy Europa League prediction like I am. He's also said that we'll end up finishing fourth. May the fourth be with us, Sonny, because we're also sharing an opinion there. And I feel like he had similar cup exits to what you and I had predicted. But yeah, Dave, Sonny's predictions, not too far off from my own.
Yeah, very similar, I think, to, where both of us really sit coming into this season. He's hanging a lot of hopes on Dominic Solanke, and I hope that, he pulls through for us Spurs fans, because I think that's where our hopes lie. Can Dominic Solanke come in and add a lot of more goals to this team and push us further up the table, go deep in the cup competitions? He really has to for us to improve on last year. Although I will add, are you really a Spurs fan if you haven't already looked at how to get to Bilbao for the Europa League final? Because although I think we'll go far in it, I don't think we'll go to the final, but I've still looked.
Yeah, we'll see how this unfolds, but let's go on to our next one. Thanks, Sonny Talk Spurs, for getting things started for us. Next, we have Sava from Football Heritage TV. He likes to think that he's negative. I like to think that he can be pretty balanced from time to time, and we'll see what his season predictions are. He can be pretty hard on himself, I think, with his own predictions. So let's see what he has to say.
Yes, this is my predictions for Irish Hotspur to Dave and to Jack. So you want to know, where do I think Spurs will finish this season? I think at the moment, at the time of recording this video, I'm going to go for 7th. The reason being, I don't think we have strengthened at all. I think adding Solanke completely doesn't change any of the deficiencies at the back, the poor tactics, the fact that we concede so many goals, and his inability to change and adapt. I think in the FA Cup, we'll get to the quarterfinals. The League Cup, I think we'll also get to the quarterfinals. I think we'll make the last 16, maybe the quarterfinals of the Europa League. 7th in the league. Top goal scorer, given injuries, will be Dominic Solanke. And our player of the year will be Mickey van der Ven, because he's the quality player in the club. Don't all hate me at once. I just can't see things are getting better. I don't bury my head in the sand. Bye.
Don't bury your head in the sand too long, Sava. You might get too much sand in your ears. But in the case of the conceding of goals, I actually agree with him for the most part. I don't like conceding as many goals as we have been. For certain cases, I don't think it is that sustainable. I think you do have to shore things up at the back for certain games, especially against more quality opponents. But Dave, I mean, he's not too keen on Solanke as a signing. He doesn't think that we've improved too much. So a 7th place finish for Sava.
Yeah, look, when it comes to Dominic Solanke, I need a bit of clarity in the comments on this one, Sava, because you put him down as your top goal scorer, but you don't rate him whatsoever. So I'm a bit confused on that one, because I haven't put him down as my top goal scorer. But I do think a lot of Sava's skepticism, some of it is justified, like you alluded to, Jack, the goals that we concede. And I know he has a lot of skepticism around Ange Postecoglou as well. However, I think Sava's just one of them. He's waiting for Ange Postecoglou to come in, prove him wrong, and then he'll get on board with him. And in fairness, Sava's had they've been consistent. They haven't just popped up this season. He's been banging on about them since all last season. But I do say to Sava, I think Ange will prove him wrong, and hopefully he will. 7th in the league, I can understand why he's done that. Could Chelsea come to the fore this year? Liverpool are unknown package. Aston Villa have made some shrewd signings, but will Champions League maybe alter their league campaign? So I can understand why he's picked 7th. So look, let us know your comments in there and your thoughts in the comment section below on what Sava's had to say there. Controversial, maybe.
He likes to be controversial, but I think in plenty of times, he can have a lot of truth in there. But let's go on to Kate from Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. See what she has to say. See how she might compare.
Good afternoon, Kate here from Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs, giving my predictions for next season for Jack and Dave at the Irish Hotspur. Premier League, I'm going for 7th. I would quite happily take 7th if we get a cup. I just think we might struggle in the league more than in a cup competition, because I am going for us to win the Carabao Cup this year. It's a long time coming, and this hoodoo has to end sometime. FA Cup, I think we will get to the quarterfinals. Europa League, I'm going last 16, possibly last 8. Top goal scorer, I'm going to go for Dominic Solanke. I think it'll be a good first season for him. And our player of the season, I am going to go for, this is a really difficult one, I think I'm going to go for Christian Romero. But let's hope that we win everything and it's a successful season for us. Please like and subscribe to the Irish Hotspur, and as always, come on you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Nice one. She's gone for also a 7th place prediction, Dave. I think she also has some concerns about the tactics, and she even said she doesn't think it's that sustainable when it comes to the Premier League. Any parts of that you would agree? I think some of that's pretty similar to what Sava has said.
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar. And look, we're not going to win all 4 competitions. We're not going to go deep in all 4 competitions. I think one of the competitions is going to have to maybe give somewhere along the line. And if we keep going deep in the cups, eventually the league is going to give. So let's wait and see what happens. But player of the season, Cutie Romero as well, the same as me. Absolutely love that. Great minds think alike. And I'm sure Cutie will appreciate his new fan base.
Definitely, Cootie does enjoy having a bigger fan base. He started out as a very criticized, very maligned Spurs player, and now he's one of the fan favorites, which is just how a Spurs kind of story and a Spurs trajectory usually goes. But let's go on to Marlon from Spurs Kings TV, see what he has to say. Love his predictions because they end up sadly being right most of the time. At least that was the case last season.
Yeah.
So hopefully Marlon has some positive predictions for us, because sometimes his end up being a little too true. So let's go and see what he has to say.
Come on, Marlon, give me hope.
Yo, Dave and Jack, it's Marlon from Spurs Kings TV. Just my predictions for the season. I think we'll finish 6th or 7th, but this is based on Ange leaving by Christmas, and I think there'll be a new manager bounce. FA Cup, I think it'll be 4th or 5th round again, depending if we get a big team. But yeah, 4th or 5th round. And the Carabao Cup, I reckon again, we'll probably get to the quarters. I think that's what my prediction is for the season with Spurs. As for the player of the season, I think that's going to go to Van de Ven. I think Van de Ven will get it again. I think Romero was the player of the season last year, but I think Van de Ven's going to push on, and I think he's going to be relied on with Ange tactics. And if, like I said, if Poch comes in the middle of the season, like as I predicted, then I think he'll be a wonder under Poch. And then top goal scorer, I'm going to give it to Solanke. I think he will end up top goal scorer. I think if Sonny it depends if Sonny plays up top or not, but I think that's how it's going to end. But yeah, I think it's going to be much of the same as last year, as we've seen in the friendlies. So yeah, peace out.
Big up to Marlon from Spurs Kings TV. But Dave, he thinks Ange is going to get sacked by Christmas and Pochettino is going to make his return. At least it's not going to be Ryan Mason. Dave, I mean, big prediction there from Marlon. And I wonder if some people will agree with him in the comments.
Look, I think I see a lot of that banding about, and even more so after the pre-season friendlies, because things haven't changed defensively. It's not only are we caught on the counter, it's also from set pieces as well. So I can understand why that narrative is maybe going around. Plus, when you look at the track record, manager since Pochettino doesn't usually get 2 years. It usually crumbles heading into the second season. So maybe maybe Marlon's opinion is based off of that. However, I think Ange will see out the season personally, and I would urge Spurs fans, it's all well and good calling for Pochettino to come back. We had our opportunity and ended up going to Chelsea, so I don't want him back in this door personally.
Well, there you go. Pochettino is now dead to Dave, and so is Harry Kane. He's leaving everything in the past. He's done with
They're
that
all
old
dead.
era. He's into the new era. Big up Marlon from Spurs Kings TV. Great channel. Check them out. Now let's move on to the Dorset man, Lee, the Dorset Spur out in South Dorset. Love his predictions from last season. I wonder how he'll compare to Marlon and the rest. Looks like Lee has a lot to live up to because, they've gone for 7th place predictions. So we'll see how this compares. I wonder if he'll be a little higher. Maybe it might be a little lower, but we'll see. And we'll find out. Do check out his channel, Lee the Dorset Spur.
Hello, Irish Hotspur and Irish Hotspur subscribers. Lee the Dorset Spur here, giving my predictions for what's going to be an up and down season. I can feel it in my bones already. So let's start off. Premier League, where do I think we're going to finish? Well, probably around about 6th or 7th, I think, because we now have Europa League to contend with, so going to be more than one match per week. So that's going to put a bit of a spanner at the works and going to stretch our squad a little bit. In terms of FA Cup, I think potentially quarterfinals, Carabao Cup, semis, maybe a final could be on the cards. I think it's high time we took that competition seriously because it's probably the easiest one out of all of them to win. Europa League, well, I'd love to see us go as far as we can with that, really take that seriously, but I still feel that we're a little bit short on that basis. So I think we're probably going to end up around about quarterfinals. Best player or best goal scorer this season, I think, will probably be Sonny. Love it to be Dominic Solanke, but I think Sonny's probably going to be the man. And best player, Mickey van der Ven sounds a really good shout, but I got a really sneaky suspicion that Lewis Bergvall is going to be the man this year. We'll see. Up the Spurs.
Nice one, Lee. Dave, Lucas Bergvall for player of the season from our man Lee, and also another 6th or 7th place prediction. Seems like people are all in unison when it comes to that one. I know Dermatron might break that mold, but they are in common agreement with that.
Yeah, I think that's what 3 or 4 on the trot now that has said, 7th. That's Kate, Sava, Marlon, and now Lee. So that's 4 on the trot. That's absolutely madness. But look, it seems to be a common prediction. I can understand why, again, with the amount of competitions we're in. But I do think we have a better squad to be able to manage it than what we've had in years gone by. Don't get me wrong, and we still need more squad depth. But I'd argue, I think a lot of people would be surprised with the likes of Bergvall, Gray, Mikey Moore coming in rather than some of the crap that we've had off the bench in years gone by. And that was the whole point of this summer, was to create a better squad, because Postecoglou said it himself that, last season in that interview with Men in Blazers, we just didn't have the squad after a certain point to be able to keep it going and stuff. So maybe that's where they're coming from. But for me, I think we will finish a little bit higher than 7. And Lucas Bergvall as player of the season, I would definitely put him in contention for young player of the season. I'd almost think that he's probably going to win it. But player of the season, I think, will definitely go to one of the senior members.
Well, there you go. I liked that shout, though, from Lee. It was definitely different. Do check out his lovely channel. He's been very good to us on these channel predictions. Always sends them in nice and early. He's a role model for the rest of the crew, usually. Lee is our man. But let's go on to the showstopper, the closer, Dermatron. Who else but the Dermatron to finish things off? Let's see what his season predictions are going to be.
Hi, this is Dermot, aka Dermatron from thfc Till I Die. This is my season prediction for the 24-25 Premier League season. And look, where I would love Tottenham to win the league, and of course me being delusional Tron, I want Spurs to win the league. The quad's on. Of course it is. But look, I think it's going to be between Liverpool and probably Man City for the league. I think Tottenham will get top 4. But I think where Tottenham can do well is in the Cups, and I think we can do well in Europe as well. We have a great chance in the Europa League. So I'm going for Tottenham to win the League Cup, Tottenham to win Europa League, and somebody else to win the FA Cup. But I think we've got a great chance in the cups this year, guys. But Tottenham finished top 4, Champions League. Here we come, baby. Next year, the Premier League is back. Come on, you Spurs in Big Ange, we trust.
That's a great prediction from our man Dermatron. And Dave, I mean, a 2-trophy season for Dermot here. I mean, we'll definitely take that as Spurs fans. It'd be one of the best years we would have ever had.
I mean, it'd be the best season in about a decade, if not a couple of decades, bringing home 2 trophies. That'd be unbelievable, Dermatron. That's what we're all here for. We want trophies. I love the fact that he says I'm not gonna be too delusional. I'm gonna get realistic, and it still says we're gonna come home with 2 trophies. I absolutely love that. He couldn't help it, and he didn't mention Arsenal up there as a title challenge, considering they've been up there the last 2 years. Interesting enough. But Dermo, I absolutely love it, my man, and you're getting me pumped for this season. Thank you.
And thanks to all of our fellow creators for sending in these predictions. Thanks to Dave for editing back this video. If you can for us, do smash the like button and look out for plenty more content as we approach this Leicester game and also this season ahead. It's going to be an up and down season, as plenty of them said, but hopefully you guys stick by this channel and hopefully you guys follow us through this roller coaster. We'll be seeing you next time, everybody. Come on, you Spurs. In the Big Ange we trust. We never stop.